Hello, friends. I'm not responsible for whatever this situation is. I just am at home now, so I don't do nice things with my hair. But I'm in the shop. This is the Punish Prop shop. This is my wee corner of it. And Bill, you may have seen if you follow Punish Props on their extra credit club, which you should because it's great. On our extra credit club, I work there. I don't know. Anyway, Bill was super nice and cut out some pieces for me so that I can make a book binding jig. Well, a book page folding and hole punching jig to help with book binding. Here, I'll show you. So this is the thing. And basically the way it works is, I've already folded this, so that's not very helpful. But you can lay a flat piece of paper here. You'll notice there's a trench here that Bill cut for me to slide a piece of leather into so that I can butt this up against these arms and make sure it's nice and square. Use that to make sure all my pages are folded evenly, and then you'll notice the crease here falls right into that trench. So what I can do then is once I've got all my pages folded, I can cut a piece of leather like this, slide it into this trench, lay these pages out with a template, butt it up against these arms to make sure it's all square and sits in the same spot, and then punch with an awl all of my holes to make sure they sit all nice and even. This has been something that has been very challenging when book binding, for me at least, is making sure all my pages are nice and square and are easy to fold. And once I have a whole stack of signatures ready to have their holes marked, this is tall enough, this wall here, that I can stack them all up, get them square against the arms, and clamp them to the base, and then use my ruler to mark out where all the holes are going to go. So this should help a lot. I'm going to glue this up, today, and we'll get to see it in use hopefully over this weekend because I have a couple books that I need to bind. Okay, I have all my glue and all my pieces, so I'm going to put this together, and then we're going to clamp it, and then we're going to wait patiently and not touch it for 24 hours. Ta-da! I just realized I had my video vertical for that whole first introduction. Sorry! But ta-da! So this is my little jig, all glued up and clamped. I don't do woodworking very often, but it should do. It's not like a high-stress tool or anything. But we'll leave this guy be until tomorrow, which will be really hard. But then tomorrow morning, like Christmas, I can come in here, probably do a little sanding on these edges, kind of clean stuff up, and then we'll have a cool book jig to use. I missed the stop button. Okay, friends, if you are a follower of Punish Props, then this space will look familiar to you, because this is the main workbench where Bill films things, and this is Bill's box of leather stuff. Bill, being the wonderful supportive human that he is, told me that I could rummage through here and see if there's anything that I can use for my leatherworking business, because Bill doesn't do a whole lot of leather stuff. So there's a lot of like rivets and Chicago screws and stuff here that I'll probably leave because Bill actually does use these for a lot of his projects. But you can see how nicely organized it is and how noisy. There's all kinds of buckles and some rapid rivets and stuff like that in here. What else do we have in here? Gloves for some reason. Shield. This is probably, yeah, water stain and repellent. So this is kind of a protectant. I may swipe that. We'll see. Again, I have permission. I'm not just stealing from my boss. I would never. What is in here? What do we got? Oh, these are big chonkin rivets. Look at that setter. Wow. These are like what you would have for like sales almost. These are big boys. I don't really need those. I make small stuff. What's in here? Oh, these are actually, I may steal. I mean, take with permission. These are daubers. So it's usually kind of a wool at the end and then a wire handle. And the reason there's a bazillion of them is because they are disposable. I feel like you can wash them. I haven't tried. I will find out. But these are great for applying things like an antique finish, or applying toconal, which is an edge treatment to the edges of your leather, so that you don't have to use your fingies or a cloth. So there's a whole bunch of these in here. Bill doesn't need those. This is a sharpening compound. I already have some at home. And this, or a polishing compound, it's for sharpening things like a swivel knife, which is what these are. This is a swivel knife. There's a blade under there, and that's how you carve into leather and make fancy shapes. I already have one of these, and I think both of these probably have the same blade. These, though, these are stamps. So let me see if I can get it to focus on this teeny tiny thing for you. This little bitty guy. Oh, I did it for a second. Do it again. There we go. Close enough. But you can see it's kind of textured, so you hammer into leather with this, and it will make all kinds of patterns. So those are very interesting. This is an edge burnishing tool. I have one of these at home as well. This is extremely useful. I know Bill uses this quite a bit, so I may not hijack this, but I will borrow it because I'm working on something really cool that I actually do need a strap for, so I'll borrow this and bring it back. What else is in here? This is a whole set of snap and rivet setters. I don't think I need this, but it could be useful. But basically it's a bunch of things like this that fit into dies that help you set different kinds of rivets, which is super handy. Random straps. This is another grade of polishing compound. So you can see this is extra fine. This one is medium. So you can go through different levels of polishing compound to get your blades nice and sharp. Gloves. This is probably the fine polishing compound. Use those with a strop. I don't know if there's a strop in here. He may have it somewhere else. This is, what is this? I have one. I don't actually know what it's called though. It's like, whoop, there it goes. It's for making like marks. Oh, you know what? I don't have one of these. Oh, Bill, I'm taking this one. Bye! Anyway, this is for making marks on the edges of leather, kind of like what wing dividers or a compass can do. So this arm here is adjustable, and you can change it to the width and then slide it along the edge of your leather to get a nice line. I can show you some of this later. Take the bag. These are some leather shears. Does he have 2 pairs of these? Guess who has a pair of these now? It's me. So we have this blue pair, Sure Grip shears. We have this pair, Craft Tool Pro shears. I don't know which one. I don't know what the difference is. Pro Super shears, Sure Grip shears. These ones look like they'd be sharper, but I don't know. This has the word pro in it. Oh, this one is for 14 and up. This one is for 10 and up. I don't know if there's enough of a difference between these two kinds of scissors to justify a 4-year age requirement difference. I want the big kid scissors. Bill, I'm taking these. You can have the other ones. This is a magazine of Tandy leather stuff. I tend to buy a lot of my stuff from Tandy currently. Oh, hey, there's a truck outside. I don't know if you can hear that. It just decided to talk. This is a belt buckle blank. You can stick that on a belt and it becomes a buckle magically. This is a loose buckle. Hello. What else we got in here? Oh, these are some more chunky rivets. I think I ordered these for myself and then they were like way bigger than what I needed, and Bill likes to use some chunky rivets. Or eyelets, rather. Sorry. This is an empty package. I'll throw that away for Bill. These are edge beveling tools. Hold on. Let's get some focus going in here. Edge beveling tools. There we go. So you can see it has it looks like an 8? A 5. It's a 4 and a 5. So there's different widths. Come on. I believe in you, camera. So you can see there's different widths on those. This is to put a bevel on the edge of leather so that when you burnish it, it has a nice rounded over edge, which is pretty sweet. I don't know if Bill wants to use those or not. I know when he makes belts, which he does, belts and straps for costumes, he does that pretty often. These are pretty sweet. This is a bit that you can put in something to do kind of power burnishing. So I have definitely maybe possibly put this into a drill, clamped the drill to my vice grip, and then clamped the power switch on the drill so that it was running by itself, and then used it as a power burnisher. I don't recommend this. It's probably not terribly safe, but it worked for what I was doing. But you could totally put this into something like a Dremel tool, which is probably way safer. And this is another one too. Has a little bit more variety, so you could get this into a slightly different kind of shape. These are pretty handy. These I will leave here because all the power tools are at the shop, so then we can both use them. And again, Bill makes straps and stuff out of leather sometimes for props, and I don't want to take those from him. But a lot of these stamps and edging tools I may borrow. Look at this tiny guy. Itty bitty little, boop. It's like a little flower design maybe. I may hijack a couple of these. We'll see. I don't do a ton of tooling, but I would like to do more, and it's a great thing. And these kinds of tools are super useful, and Bill has some interesting ones with different sizes and stuff. These are just a smooth surface beveling tool, 2 different sizes. I have a couple of these at home, but they have a texture on them, so this is kind of a nice variety, or a version of that, if you will. So I may hijack these. But yeah, this is some leather stuff. Thanks for coming with me on this pilfering journey. Again, I have permission. I'm not stealing from Bill. I would never. But yeah, some cool stuff, some cool leather things. So if you're looking to do leather stuff, Bill has a video actually where he and Greg from Bjorn's workshop, who now works at Prince Armory, go over a lot of these different tools and what they do, and how to do some basic leatherworking techniques. And it's a great video. I highly recommend it. Bill does a little bit of tooling, and they talk about some of the different tools and techniques, and you should check it out. I can link it in the description so that you guys can take a look, because it's a really good video and I learned a lot from it. So we'll see you next time. All right, it's the next morning. I was patient purely because of distance. So this should be all done and ready to go. I'm gonna take the clamps off really quick, and we'll see how we did. All right, so here we have the whole setup. Obviously there's going to be a little bit of cleanup on this. I want to make sure this crease in here is really nice and clean, but it's not horrifically important. I'm not like machining or doing something super precise. So I cut this yesterday while glue was drying, and that just slots really nice right into this spot that Bill cut for me. And this is just a piece of leather. It's kind of a nice piece of leather, but it's what I had. Normally I'd probably just use like veg tan. This feels like, I don't know, an oiled something. So this leather slots in here, so this is a nice flat surface. Although for folding, I may put a piece of like styrene in here so that I have a hard surface. So pretend that's styrene, I guess. So this is a totally unfolded piece of paper that I definitely didn't use yesterday. So you can see it slots right in here nicely, and with one hand, it's already kind of folded, so I'm cheating a little bit, but you can see it presses nicely into the guide, and then I can use a bone folder, and I'll be able to fold a lot of pages this way nice and quickly. And then once they're all folded and marked for hole punching, I can borrow Bill's mini Durasta ice pick, because it's more fun than an awl, and I can punch holes because there's leather underneath. And possibly even I could just not put leather in here. I wonder if that works better actually. Leather was my original plan so that the awl has something to sink into, so you can see little holes down there. But now I'm kind of wondering, I could put something soft in there, like softer than leather, like foam, and get potentially a better hole in that spot. But that's the idea. And then, like I mentioned the other day too, I can line up a bunch of folded pages all stacked up. That's why these are so tall, and mark with a ruler where holes are going to go, and I can clamp them and do whatever I need to do. So this is going to help me out a lot. Thanks, Bill. I'm excited to bind a couple books with this weekend. I'll probably shoot a little bit of video of that for the vlog. Some of the paper I ordered came with a mustache sticker, so this is fancy now. As soon as I hit the record button, the heater decides that it also wants to say things. Hello, heater. We know you're here. Anyway, it's just kind of a sleepy Wednesday. Is that today? Is today Wednesday? I don't know. It's kind of a sleepy Wednesday. I decided to come into shop and just do some tooling for my leaf pack that I'm working on. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Should be good. One. Ugh. Giant granite slab. This was in the garage of a place that I used to live. Ow. Sorry. Gotta readjust it a little bit, which is super fun for you because you're in my hand. Ow. Don't smoosh your fingies when you use granite slabs. This was in the garage of somewhere I used to live, and the guy didn't need it anymore. And this was before I really did leather, but I knew that for tooling, a slab like this, that's something that's really hard, works really well as a base for tooling. So I nabbed it and I've kept it and I've hauled it around with me. And I'm very glad that I have because it's been really useful. So we're gonna use this as our base today and let's do some tooling. Alright, so I have leather, I have my tooling tools, I've got my rubber mallet, and a couple other things. I want to punch some holes today too. But these are pieces of my leaf pack. This is kind of the bottom front that scoops up, and this is where it'll fasten. And then this is kind of the top flap. This is how it'll close. I need to cut a little slit in here for that to go into. But all of these I'm going to make look leafy. So you can kind of see the texture I've got on here. This one has been tooled a little bit. You can see the depth that it has, and this one has just been cut. So I'm gonna do this to all of these. forgot to show you guys the results of my leaf making yesterday because I was a little bit sleepy, but they turned out really good. That was a cat. What are you doing? Oh my god, you're so insane. You're so insane. Hi. So this is why we make prototypes. This is the back panel for my leaf pack. These are the straps. I made it all one piece so that it could conveniently sit up like this and go over the shoulders. Now what I've realized is this actually needs to go this way so that the stained side is on the outside, but if you'll notice, that puts the wrong side of the straps facing upwards. So what I'm gonna do is I've printed out another template, and I will cut this out of leather, and then that will get stitched right side out on here around the edges, which will be good because it'll also reinforce the straps. These are also to punch holes somewhere that I forgot, but this is why I do prototypes. This is why I make one before I make the final one, because then I get one, but also because I forget how geometry and things work because in my brain it'll work, and then I physically print it out and it does not. It's prototypes. Make more than one. Okay, well, that's it from me this week. I'll see you guys next week, and who knows what we're gonna do then. In the meantime, stay safe, have fun, make cool shit, stuff. Ooh, do I swear on this? I don't know yet. And I'll see you guys then.